Well, greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's John Campia, and this is a companion video. What is a companion video? Well, I'm glad that you asked. See, every day on the John Campia Show, we save some time to take some live questions, but sometimes we don't have enough time to get to all the live questions that get sent in, and I want to make sure those get answered in a video, so I gather up those unused questions, and I bring them over here, and I address them on companion videos. So let's get things going and start getting caught up here. And our first one we're going to get caught up on comes to us from Angry Irish Benjamin. And Angry Irish Benjamin writes, I've been rewatching the MCU movies in order of release date. That's a nice habit to have. It's really interesting to see everyone's personalities and equipment evolve over time. One of the things, I've mentioned this before, Angry Irish, that I think is really most important and most impressive as far as what the MCU has done, is their characters all evolve. For the most part, they all evolve. Their two best, well, the three best examples are their three biggest heavy hitters: Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. Tony has evolved a lot since Iron Man 1. Like, he's gone through ups and downs and changes, and he still has the same sense of humor, but he's a very different person now than he was back in Iron Man 1. Thor has gone through a lot of evolution until we came to the Thor we had in Thor Ragnarok and the Thor we had in Avengers Infinity War. Captain America has evolved a lot over the years. His core principles stay the same, but how those core principles are interpreted through the lens of his reality have changed a lot, and he's evolved. It would be the easiest thing in the world for them just to keep the characters exactly the same, but we as people change and evolve as significant events happen in our lives. Many significant events have happened to Tony, Thor, and Captain America, and they evolve as a result. And that is one of the best things they've done and one of the best things they continue to do. And I love that they do that. All right. Hector Jeter writes, is Zimmer coming back to compose for Lion King? Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I was actually looking at the Lion King's IMDb the other day because I was looking up some character listings. And one of the things that it lists on the Lion King 2019 version is that Hans Zimmer is composing the music. Now, whether that's accurate or not is up. I mean, I don't know for sure, but because IMDb is usually pretty rock solid for films that have already come out. For films that are coming out, it's not always 100% reliable for films that haven't yet hit the theaters. But as far as I know, Zimmer is doing the music. I could be wrong about that, but as far as I know, he's doing the music. All right, Glenn P. writes, thoughts on The Walking Dead making the walkers smarter? Does it breaks the rules of the world they have set up? It will great to see the main characters usually be afraid of the walkers again. I honestly don't know. I haven't seen a single episode of The Walking Dead this season, so I have no idea. I have caught up on all the Walking Dead stuff up to the end of last season, but I'm not a major Walking Dead fan, right? I enjoy the show for the most part, but I'm not a major fan, and I don't make it a point to keep up. So this stuff you're talking about making the walkers smarter and all that kind of stuff, I have no idea. This is all news to me. But I will say this. One of my biggest complaints about Walking Dead has been there's no way these zombies would have overrun the earth. Because one guy with a pistol seems to be able to walk into a mob of 50 zombies and take out all the zombies. Right? It's almost laughable. And the zombies themselves have not been a significant factor in Walking Dead for a little while. To make them the namesake of the show, The Walking Dead, to make them a significant part of the show sounds like a good idea. But again, I don't know really what we're talking about, Glenn, since I haven't seen the episodes this season so far. Let's see. Santez Henderson writes, rewatched The Lion King today, and I can say that Favreau is a brace soul. You probably meant brave. Is a brave soul for taking on this reimagining. He has to stick the landing, and I don't envy him. See, that's the thing. A lot of these big high-profile project movies, be they Star Wars or MCU films or a Lion King, on the one hand, yes, there are tons of directors in this business who would salivate at the idea, but at the same time, they have to take a pause and think, if I don't stick this, people are going to hate me. Hell, just look at what happened with Rian Johnson. I think Rian Johnson did a pretty good job with The Last Jedi. I like The Last Jedi, but a lot of people didn't. And as a result, he's put up, because of one movie, he has endured like a year now of abuse and ridicule and just complete troll behavior and blah, 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 and name calling and all this kind of stuff. That's what he had to deal with. Now, every star in Hollywood still wants to work with him. Look at the cast that's been lining up to work in his new murder mystery movie that he's got coming out. I think it's called Knives Out. Anyway, that's a who's who cast list. But you are putting yourself in the line of fire if you take a job like that. I mean, so much so that even guys like Christopher McQuarrie, the guy who does all those Tom Cruise movies, including the Mission Impossible movies that he's totally crushed, seeing the way fans respond to a director who does a beloved property and maybe doesn't do it the way they want them to do it, it's made other filmmakers go, nope, I'm never touching a comic book movie, thank you very much, because the fandom is too toxic. The fandom, this ravenous fandom is just too toxic. And it's unfortunate. And you're right, Jon Favreau's a brave soul for doing it. However, Jon Favreau also already struck the landing with The Jungle Book. I'm sure his confidence is very high, and Disney's confidence is very high that he'll be able to do the same thing with The Lion King. Although the love for The Lion King is a little bit higher than Jungle Book, so we'll have to see how this turns out. Jeff Jones writes, thanks, John. In the past 16 months, I've lost 5 family members. That's awful, man. That's awful. I went through a stretch in about a year and a half where I lost 3. And that was brutal. Losing 5 is just unimaginable. The most recent just died 4 days before Thanksgiving. You and our movie fan community is a welcome escape, even if only for an hour. And Jeff, we talk about this all the time, and I am happy to talk about it every single episode. Every single video I do, I'm happy to talk about the fact that I love our online film fan community. Because the movies aren't just an escape. Movies are a glimpse into what we are, a glimpse into what we fear, a glimpse into a world that has been and a world that we hope can be. And movies also give us that oasis at the same time as we engage in those things, not only just watching the movies, but then talking about the movies with fellow fans, and a way to escape from the other stuff. It gives us an oasis where we can get more clarity, we can calm our minds, and when we come back into our real world problems, we can face them with a bit clearer of a perspective and maybe a different outlook. And I've always been grateful to first of all, film and the film fan community for that. And I'm glad that's been able to be your experience as well, Jeff. So again, condolences, but I'm really, really thrilled that you're part of the film fan community and that community can be there for you in that way. So thank you for sharing that, Jeff. Jeffrey Taylor writes, who would you like to host the 2019 Oscars? Ryan Reynolds would be a hoot. I don't know about Ryan Reynolds, to be honest with you. I don't know if I see him as a host kind of a guy. And you all know I'm a big Ryan Reynolds fan. This doesn't have anything to do with whether or not I think Ryan Reynolds is great. Obviously, I think Ryan Reynolds is great. He's awesome. Do I see him as a host? I don't know. That's a different question. Look, my number one choice would be Hugh Jackman. I thought he did a really good job the last time he hosted the Oscars. He is the world's greatest all-around entertainer. He is the best triple threat talent in the world. He is a true movie personality. And look, there have been some good Oscar hosts. Don't get me wrong. Don't misinterpret me. There have been some good Oscar hosts who are not true movie personalities. They're more television personalities or whatever. You guys always know, I just prefer the notion of a true through and through movie personality hosting the biggest night of the movies. Call me crazy. You don't get a plumber to host the NHL awards. To me, there's just something that feels much better to get a true through and through movie personality to host the biggest night of the movies. Again, don't misinterpret me. I know there have been some good hosts who are not movie personalities. I know that. I'm just saying that's my preference. And I'm sure there'd be lots of good names in there, but to me, Hugh Jackman would just be just a stellar choice. But there are many good choices, so we'll have to see how that all turns out. Okay, let's move on here. Jared McBride writes, John, have you seen any episodes of the new season of Arrow? If you have, what do you think so far? Yeah, I'm actually caught up. I am now caught up on Arrow. I still don't think it's great, but I'll tell you what, it is the best start they've had to a season in years. In years. since season 3. And then season 3 went to hell with Captain Buckles. But, I mean, season 3 started off pretty good. Honestly, this is the best Arrow's been since season 2. Really. It's the best Arrow has been since season 2. It's not awesome, but it's absolutely an improvement. And, you know, full admission here, I didn't think I'd like the idea of having Oliver separated from everybody else in his prison stint, doing their little Supermax thing. But it worked. It worked for me. And I've been digging it so far. Jeff Jones writes, for 2019 Disney movies, isn't Cruella, the 101 Dalmatians prequel with Emma Stone, supposed to come out in December 2019? No. There was, for those of you who don't remember, a long time ago, there was reports about Emma Stone signing up to play Cruella in a 101 Dalmatians prequel. That was something they were looking at, but as of right now, it's had no movement whatsoever. I think they've got a director attached, and they've got Emma Stone attached, and I think that's it. There's nothing else. There's no release date for it. They don't have any other cast. I'll be honest with you, I can't help but wonder if the whole project's been derailed. At this point, I can't help but wonder if the whole project's been derailed. Maybe it'll pick up steam again at some point, but no, it's not coming out in 2019. That much is for certain. Okay, let's see here. Baby Boy 8603 writes, hey, John, I was wondering if I have to watch the first Mary Poppins to understand Mary Poppins Returns. Pardon me, not really my kind of movie, but I love Emily Blunt. I don't know. I mean, look, I haven't seen Mary Poppins Returns. I had the opportunity to see it last week, but I was already occupied. So I don't know. It strikes me that you will be able to walk into Mary Poppins Returns and just watch it, and you'll get it. But it also seems like it's one of those situations where you'll have a deeper appreciation for it if you watch the original. Look, Baby Boy 8603, I don't know you personally, but I'll tell you this. I think the odds are there's many of us that Mary Poppins doesn't look like it's a movie for us. I feel very confident, even though I don't know you, that if you sit down and watch Mary Poppins, the original, you ain't going to regret it. You won't regret it. It is, as a piece of art, it's kind of like a foundational piece of our culture. Mary Poppins is just, Mary Poppins transcends movies. You know what I mean? So I would highly recommend you check it out. But no, the plain answer to your question is, even though I haven't seen Mary Poppins Returns, I highly doubt that you have to see the original Mary Poppins in order to watch this. I think you'll be able to watch it. You'll understand what's going on. They'll make it clear what's going on. But you'll probably have a deeper appreciation for it if you go back and watch the original. That's how I kind of feel about it. Let me know if you do end up watching it, baby boy. All right, Tyler Yeats writes, got the movie Heat on Black Friday. Ooh, nice pickup. On Black Friday sale. Haven't watched it yet. How good is it? Oh, I mean, it's great. Heat is great. I mean, a lot of people believe it is undoubtedly Michael Mann's best film. Hold on a second. Let me pull it up here. A lot of people think undoubtedly it is Michael Mann's best film. And it's hard to argue against that. But you're talking about Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. They really only have like one or two scenes together, so don't get too excited about that. But they're both fantastic in it. Val Kilmer's in it. It's maybe Val Kilmer's best performance. I mean, it's hard to say that because he's got several other really great ones. John Voight, Tom Sizemore, Ashley Judd was in there too. I forgot about that. William Fichtner, who I'm a big fan of William Fichtner. Yes, good pickup, man. Believe me, whatever you paid for it, it was money well spent. Getting Heat and getting to watch Heat for the first time is a very, very cool thing. All right. John DeBenedict writes, honestly, I could see Aquaman, Mary Poppins, and Spider-Verse being in a three-way battle next month. Whatever the case, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be tough to see. See, I still believe Mary Poppins ultimately will be the biggest moneymaker out of these films. But I believe Aquaman will have the biggest opening out of all those films. I think Aquaman will come out of the gate stronger because these comic book movies, these are the types of movies especially that people want to rush out and see right away. Like if people are interested in Aquaman, they generally these comic book movies, they generally try to get out and see it, if not in the first weekend, then by at the latest the second weekend, right? I have a feeling Mary Poppins is not one of those kinds of films. People with families and all that kind of stuff, they don't necessarily have the itch to rush out opening night and see it. Therefore, I'm kind of guessing that Aquaman is going to be, after 3 weeks will be the bigger moneymaker. But I believe when it's all said and done, I believe Mary Poppins is going to be this. I still have my doubts about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Not about how good it is. I've been totally sold on how good that movie probably is going to be. However, I still have some reservations about not really sure how this movie is going to appeal to the average movie-going audience. I'm just not sure. I think it's done a good job appealing to us comic book movie fans, but for it to have real big success, it's also got to appeal to the average movie-going audience, and I'm just not sure how appealing this looks to the average movie-going audience. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just saying I have my doubts at this point. I'm not certain about it. So, yeah, I think initially it's going to be Aquaman. Long run it's going to be Mary Poppins, and I think Spider-Verse is going to be behind both of them by a little bit. But let's wait and see. We could change our minds about that totally as soon as they all open up. All right. Let's see here. Where are we? We move on from John Benedict, and we go on to I'm Upset, who writes, over or under 15% that the crows appear in the new Dumbo. Man, you know what? 15%'s a good line. Look, I'm not going to go into it in depth. Clearly, the crows present a problem, right? Do I really need to go more into it than that? Clearly, the crows present a problem for the idea of them appearing in a Dumbo film. A very touchy, sensitive problem. But I don't believe that means that there's not a way you could do with them in such a way that they can avoid the problems that the original crows and the original Dumbo present to us today. There's a way around that. Will they do it? I don't know. 15% is a good line because it's difficult to take the under on 50. 15% is already so low. It's hard to take the under on that. So you know what? I'm going to say over 15%. I don't think I'd say 25%. I certainly wouldn't say 30%. No way in hell do I say over 50%. But if you're going to set the line at 15, I'll take the over on 15, but it still makes it highly doubtful. But who knows? We'll see. All right. Chris M. writes, hello from the Inland Empire. A couple of days, you probably mean ago. A couple of days ago, I saw one of the stupidest but most enjoyable films I've seen, The Forbidden Kingdom. Jet Li as a monkey? Really? So, yeah, that was Forbidden Kingdom was about 10 years ago, and I remember being so psyched for that movie because it was Jet Li and Jackie Chan. And that kid who's now in This Is Us, and I can't remember the kid's name, but anyway. So it was Jet Li and Jackie Chan, and Jet Li plays the Monkey King. And just seeing these two big screen martial arts legends in a movie together was great. I did not love the movie. I did not love Forbidden Kingdom, but I got a big kick out of it. I did. For some of the right reasons, for some of the wrong reasons, but I got a big kick out of the movie. I honestly did. Seeing these two guys, and you know what? I don't think anybody's brought up Forbidden Kingdom since I started the John Campia show, and now it's been brought up, so thank you, Chris, for bringing up Forbidden Kingdom. Let's see here. NPE94 writes, when a film ends, do you sit through the credits or leave? I leave. I mean, unless, of course, it's a comic book movie or a film that you expect a post-credit scene. Then I stay through, but no, for the most part, I don't stay. Look, I know there's this argument that some people have tried to make with me in the past to say, it's disrespectful to all the people who have worked on the movie not to stay through the credits. And to me, it's not. I'm a consumer. I don't owe the product anything. As the consumer, you don't owe the product anything. You owe the product the money it costs you to consume the product. I can buy a McDonald's hamburger. I don't owe that hamburger anything. The only thing I owe is I haven't bought a McDonald's hamburger in a long time. I don't know. What is it? $3? Whatever. I owe $3 for that hamburger. But once I've paid for that, I don't owe the hamburger anything. Right? I paid for it. I don't owe it a thing. While a movie is art, it is still a product that you are them to consume as a viewer, right? once you pay your money to get in the theater, you don't owe anybody anything. You owe them the cost of admission. You owe them the price it costs you to rent it online. You owe them the price it costs you to buy the Blu-ray, but you are now not obligated or owe that product anything. You don't owe that Blu-ray once you finish watching the movie on the Blu-ray saying, well, I'm running late, but I owe it to this movie to sit here through the 6 minutes of trailers. No, you don't. Or through the 6 minutes of credits. No, you don't. I understand and respect the notion of it being respectful to people who worked on the film to sit through the credits. I understand that notion, but it's a very thin notion. It carries with it no obligation. It is a product I've paid for to consume. I owe it nothing. And maybe that doesn't sound nice, but that is how I see it, right? So anyway, no, I leave unless I think there is more product there for me to consume in the post credits, then I will stay. Otherwise, no, I don't. But I would never poo-poo on anybody who does. Like if you're the type of person who likes to sit down and sit through the credits, bravo to you, sir. But I would certainly never judge anybody who doesn't because I don't either myself. Let's see. Michael Jones writes, hey, John, thanks for the video showing Harry Potter World at Christmas. Thank you so much. For those of you who don't know what he's talking about, Ann and I visited the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Studios Hollywood, and I made a little video blog about it. And it was a lot of fun, and a bunch of you guys watch it and seem to enjoy it. I wanted to share the experience with you guys. I was there 3 weeks ago. It was fun to see how they decorated it with images still fresh in my mind. Yeah, I guess 3 weeks ago it would have been different, and now they've got it all dolled up for Christmas, and they had the big light show, and they have snow falling. It's really fun. I highly encourage any of you guys, if you visit LA, go visit Universal Studios Hollywood. I'm not even a Potterhead, and I'm amazed whenever I walk into the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It just really immerses you into the movie world. It's really, really great. Okay. Let's see. Luke1234 writes, if Disney makes Snow White live action, I sure hope they don't call it Snow White and the 7 Vertically Challenged Individuals. Damn PC culture. You know what? I will confess my ignorance on this. I may be very, very wrong. I kind of thought dwarf was one of the politically correct terms. I thought that was one of the politically correct terms. I'm fully confessing ignorance here. I don't know. I know like the M word is considered offensive, and that's great. I know little people is used. I thought dwarfs was used, but maybe it's not. Maybe that's an offensive term too. I'm confessing ignorance here. But that's what I thought. So maybe I'm dead wrong. If you guys actually know, please do let me know. That would be great. Ben Hayusa writes, it's cool to see that you are trying to play the SpiderMan game. I actually did a live stream yesterday. I did a play and chat, live stream play and chat of me. I'm terrible at it, by the way. But anyway, it's cool to see that you're trying to play the Spidey game. If I was there, I'd help you out. But yeah, it's definitely my favorite game of the year, plus Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. Yeah, I've got Red Dead Redemption 2. It came with my PlayStation 4 Pro. It came bundled with it. So if I don't smash my PlayStation 4 and throw it out a window and destroy it and just give up on it, then if I ever get through Spider-Man, probably the next one I do is Red Dead Redemption, because that's what I'm hearing the most about at any rate. All right, BMC writes, over under 80% that Aquaman ends up with an 80% or higher Rotten Tomato rate. Hard to say because I haven't seen it yet. I'm seeing it in about a week and a half. From everything I'm hearing, it sounds like it's trending north. 80% may not be unrealistic. 80% may not be unrealistic at all. Wow. I'll take the over. Yeah, even at 80%, I will take the over 80% that Aquaman ends up with an 80% or higher. I believe all the signs are pointing towards that. I had belief in the film before we started hearing the initial reactions to it. All the initial reactions I've heard to it have all been universally positive. So I think it's probably a pretty safe bet at this point to say that the Rotten Tomatoes rating on Aquaman will probably be over 80%. We'll have to wait and see. YTA2513 writes, Avengers 4 will be the first fourth movie in the MCU. Iron Man, Cap, and Thor each have 3 movies. It's very ambiguous though, right? I mean, Captain America Civil War had most of those main characters. Iron Man's been in many a movie, and I guess in a way, but to me it's kind of a pointless figure. Say Avengers is the first fourth movie. In a way, they've all been Avengers movies, right? I mean, it's so... the lines between how you define the different things is so veiled. It's just all MCU. It's just all MCU. So what you're saying is true from a certain point of view. I mean, what you're saying is true, but I think the significance of that is drastically minimized by the fact that it really all depends on how you define all this stuff, right? It really does. So, but it is, I mean, factually, it's true. John D'Amato writes, Mary Poppins Returns will be a massive hit, $1 billion grosser, in my opinion. Will offset what they lost on Nutcracker. I don't know what AWIT. I don't know what that is. A Wrinkle in Time. Guys, please do not write in acronyms. Please don't do that. And Solo. Well, listen, they've had many movies already offset that. Black Panther alone offset the losses they had on Nutcracker, Wrinkle in Time, and Solo. Just like that. Just like that. Avengers Infinity War clearly already offset it all on its own, and so on and so forth. Incredibles offset all the losses on that. They've had a great year. Will Mary Poppins be $1 billion film? I would take the under on 50%, but there's a very good chance. I think there's a very good chance it could be. All right. Let's see. What's next here? Kara Black writes, when I said Mystery Green Arrow yesterday, I meant the new Green Arrow from this season, not the show itself. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Your thoughts on who he is and his eventual confrontation with Oliver. My guess right now is that this new Green Arrow is Colton Haynes, the actor Colton Haynes. I can't remember the name of his character. Roy. My guess is that this Green Arrow is Roy. That's my guess. Because they're doing Roy in the flash forwards. Notice they're doing flash forwards this year instead of flashbacks. I don't know if I'm on board with that. That seems kind of silly to me, but whatever. So they're doing flash forwards instead of flashbacks this year. And since Roy is in the flash forwards, I'm guessing he's the new Green Arrow. I mean, Oliver trained him himself. He seems like he'd be the logical guy to be it, but it could be anybody. Maybe it's his old best friend. What was his best friend's name? The one that died in season 1, at the end of season 1. Maybe it's actually him. Remember the one they pretend came back, but it was just a disguise? But maybe it's actually him. I don't know. Who knows? They've done crazier things in these CW shows. Daniel Fitzpatrick writes, hopefully both movies perform well. Well, I'm guessing since this question came in during a show 2 days ago when the title of the episode was, which will win, Aquaman or Mary Poppins? So I'm sure both of them are going to do fine. Whether they'll be like $700 million movies, I don't know. Neither of them need to be that big. But bottom line is they'll both perform well. They'll both do fine. How fine? How big? That's the question. We don't know. Like, will they be $700 million movies or will they be $1 billion? Who knows? But they'll both be perfectly fine. They'll both make money and everybody will be happy. NPE94 writes, Aquaman has got a 12A rating in the UK, but only after several cuts to remove blood. I wonder if the US version will also have been cut for PG-13 or not. You know, I've heard a few people say that. I'm simply saying, I don't know if that's true. I've seen some people online saying that, and maybe it's 100% true, but I don't know that it's true. If it is true, that's totally consistent with what we've been saying forever, right? You don't get R ratings now for violence. Not really. Not unless it's really excessive. You don't get R ratings even for an awful lot of language, but mostly it comes from too many F-bombs and sex and blood. That's why you can have a Transformers movie where they have giant swords decapitating, run each other through, just dispersing people into 1,000 pieces. But they're not human beings and there's not blood. There's oil and grease and all, but as long as it's not blood, you're fine. Venom turned his arm, Riot in the movie Venom, turned his arm to a giant scimitar, ran this guy through and pig stuck him against a wall. But there was no blood. So it's fine to be in a PG-13 film, right? So honestly, if all they did was cut out some blood, then I don't care. Blood does not make a scene better or worse to me, you know? So if all they did was cut out some blood, I'm perfectly happy with it. I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine. Okay. Cody Carroll writes, I've noticed recent Disney movies released at Walmart don't include digital anymore. Target and Best Buy still include digital with their combo packs. Is this because Walmart owns the Vudu digital service? It's possible. Honestly, Cody, I really don't care because I don't buy Blu-rays. All my movies are digital. I buy all my movies digital. I don't buy physical discs. I like having all my movies right there in my Google Play account. So I can watch them on my phone, at my parents' place, when I'm on a plane, when I'm on a bus, when I'm on a train, when I'm in my car, as long as somebody else is driving. No matter where I am, I just like having it that way. So these are things that I know very little about and I really don't care about because I don't buy Blu-ray discs. Physical media to me is dead. It's archaic. And I'm not putting you down if that's, I know a lot of people still like Blu-rays. That's great for you. Awesome. To me, it's outdated, backwards, dead technology. And I get all my stuff on streaming now. So honestly, I don't know the answer to that. I don't even have a theory about it because it's kind of outside my purview, as it were. Cody follows up with, Bo Peep has a new owner. Bo Peep, punctuation, my friends. Punctuation, please. Bo Peep has a new owner. Woody and the gang set out to find her Woody. Punctuation, my friends. Please use punctuations. Bo Peep has a new owner. Woody and the gang set out to find her. Woody chooses to stay with her, leaving Buzz to take Woody's role as the leader of the gang. Woody and Bo ride off into the sunset. It's possible. I mean, I believe we've already heard that Bo Peep and the search for Bo Peep could very well be a part of this movie. Because all we knew is that in Toy Story 3, they just mentioned that Bo Peep's gone. Right? They never really explained what happened to her. The notion of them and Woody going off on a quest to find Bo Peep, that makes sense. And that brings it back around full circle. I mean, it would be, I don't know that that's what they're doing, but it would make total sense. Woody and Bo like riding off into the sunset. I don't know about that. They are toys after all, so I'm not really sure about that. But as far as what you think could be the underlying premise of the film, I would not be surprised at all. Cody, I would not be surprised at all if that's what they actually do. All right. Curtis Lopez writes, I disagree with Cody Carroll's Toy Story 4 theory. Okay, well, there you go. His character is very loyal to his child owner and his friends. He wouldn't just leave them for Bo. I tend to agree with you, Curtis. I don't think, but it's possible. It is possible. I mean, remember now, Woody has been a toy since Andy was a kid. And now Andy is probably not only off of college, Andy is probably now even graduated from college. Andy's a man now off somewhere, right? At some point, a toy just wears out. They even touched on that in previous films that, hey, they're starting to wear out, right? Woody had to be repaired and repainted. I mean, there's that. Maybe at some point in Toy Story. Now, I tend to agree with you, Curtis. I don't think that's what they'll do, but let's play devil's advocate for a second. The part of them saying that, Woody, you've done your job, man. You were there for Andy. You saw him all the way through till he left home and went to college. And then you were even there for a new kid. And you've been there for this new kid who's now starting high school or whatever. You've done your duty. You've done your job. Time to go right off in the sun. I mean, it's possible. Again, I don't think that's what'll happen, but it's possible. You got to give it that much credit. All right. Curtis follows up with, do you follow your girl Jennifer Garner on Instagram? She's adorable. I don't actually. I don't follow a lot of people on social media. Like, I think I follow like 30 people maybe on Twitter. And I think I maybe follow a dozen people on Instagram. It's really, but no, which is weird when you consider how many years I've had a crush on Jennifer Garner, that you would think I would follow her social media and be a good little stalker. But actually, I don't. I don't follow Jennifer Garner on any social media. But I keep having people tell me she puts up hilarious stuff. So maybe I should start following Jennifer Garner on Instagram. Maybe I will at some point. But no, right now I don't. All right. George Costanza writes, The Seinfelds or the Costanzas? Who's funnier? Frank or Morty? Helen or Estelle? You know what? I won't go into the individuals, but I will say, as a family, the Costanzas are funnier. If for no other reason than the Festivus. You know? It's a Festivus miracle. Now for the airing of the grievances. That alone does it. I mean, Jerry is clearly Jerry. He is the center of the universe of that show. But if you want to talk about the entire, like the family, I think Jerry's parents in the show are very funny too. But yeah, if you had to make one show, the Costanzas or the Seinfelds, I'd watch the Costanza show. That's the one I would watch. That's my guess anyway. Justin D writes, Jackman is coming to my neighborhood in Dallas. Hope I can get tickets to surprise my mom. She loves Hugh and watched The Greatest Showman 4 times in theaters. For those of you who missed it, Hugh Jackman made this big announcement that he's going to be doing a one-man tour, a one-man stage show tour, where he's going to be singing a bunch of songs from Greatest Showman, Les Mis, which he also starred in Les Mis, and some other songs as well. Dude, I'd go see that show. Like that, in a heartbeat, I would go see that show. Like I said, to me, it's beyond dispute. Hugh Jackman is the single greatest entertainer in the world. There is nobody else who is a triple threat like him to the level that he is. I mean, you can say Justin Timberlake is a triple threat. Well, yeah, he can definitely sing and he can dance, but he's not really an actor. Not really. Hugh Jackman is a world-class actor, a world-class singer, a world-class performing dancer. He's just it. It's Hugh Jackman and that's it. And I applaud you, dude. Get your mom those tickets. And because if I was there, I'd say, get me some damn tickets too. I got to find out if he's coming to LA. Because if he is, I got to buy some tickets. I got to go see that show. I just think Hugh Jackman's the best. Absolutely the best. All right. Curtis Lopez writes, more Robert Meyer Burnett on the Campia show. You know what? I think I'll have Robert on again from time to time. It's just difficult. Like everybody forgets. Here's the thing, guys. Everybody just thinks, oh, just get somebody on your show because it's free and it's easy. It's so hard and it's not free. You know, you're talking about, let's take a working guy who has a job and earns a living and get him to set aside 2 hours in the morning to come in. Like somebody said, bring Robert Meyer Burnett on full time. Oh, okay, great. Can somebody give me the money to do that? Because that would be awesome. Because it ain't free. You're talking about somebody taking out 2 hours of their morning every day, drive into Hollywood, I mean, it's expensive to do that for people. And I'm not one of these people who has ever believed, going right back to the AMC days, I do not believe in getting people to do shit for free. It's expensive. Fairly so. And it's totally fair that it is. So we'll see. We'll see. Ant Banks, 1984 writes, where's the Avengers 4 trailer? I'm like Chris Rock character Pookie and the crackhead from New Jack City. I need my fix, Marvel. I mean, it's coming. Look, I heard it could have hit before the end of November. Well, here we are, December 2nd. Hasn't happened yet. But they debuted The Lion King during Thanksgiving football. Now we've got the first Monday Night Football game of December coming, which airs on ESPN, which is owned by Disney, which is the same thing that they did when they released the first Star Wars trailer. I think all signs are pointing to Monday night. But we said that months ago. I think it'll happen by the end of November, and if not, probably the first Monday Night Football game of December. I'm guessing the first Avengers trailer is going to come tomorrow night. That's my guess. And if not, probably shortly thereafter. But again, the movie's still 5 months away. Who cares? I mean, I'm anxious to see it too. And the moment it drops, man, I'm going to be on my computer watching the hell out of it. But it's a commercial. It's a commercial, right? So let's catch our breath. I'm excited to see it too, but let's not worry about it too much. All right. And the final question today comes to us from Ismelvin Vargas, who writes, Showcase Cinemas just launched their new subscriptions. I heard about this. Showcase Subscribe. I live in Rhode Island, so it is, and then apparently your thing got cut off. But if you live in Rhode Island, I'm assuming you're going to say it was great. It's great. So Showcase Cinema, which is not one of the biggest movie theater chains in America, but it's a significant one. They just announced their new thing called Showcase Subscribe. And it's a solid plan. If you don't live near an AMC theater, this is a solid little plan. I think it was like 16 or 17 bucks for 3 movies a month. But they have different options. Like you can get a membership. I remember I looked it up once. It was like you can get a membership for 3 movies a month for 2 people. So unlike AMC A-List, which is only for you, you can get a level of it where it's you and a guest. So you can get 3 movies a month for you and a guest for like 30 bucks. That's like $5 a ticket. And when you live where I live, where movies are like 15 bucks minimum for a regular 2D screening, $20+ for an IMAX or AMC Prime, and you're talking $5 a ticket, awesome. Great program. Obviously, the AMC A-List program is still better, but there's a lot of places out there where you don't have AMCs around. I think this is a really nice little plan, and I'm just now still waiting for Regal to introduce theirs. I'm guessing within the next few months, we're going to get Regal introducing their subscription service as well. All right, guys, that will do it for this installment of the companion videos. We are now all caught up with all of our companion videos. Don't forget, guys, tomorrow, the John Campea Show returns at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be back, of course, then. And if you're watching this on Sunday, we've got an open mic later on tonight, Sunday evening. Open mic will be here. Make sure you come back and join us for that. That'll do it for me for now, guys. My name's John Campea. Thanks for joining me, and until my next video, bye-bye.